guys, so I'm here with Josh today. So we're training push. I'm just going to follow Josh's session. Obviously I'm not going to make him train like me to the size of him. Massive opportunity for me, so I really appreciate Josh taking the time out and letting me train with him basically. Hopefully I will gain a decent amount of knowledge from it that I can put over to you guys. So I'm going to let Josh just introduce himself and then we'll jump straight into the session. So go ahead mate, who are you?
Cool, so who am I? Yeah, I am a bodybuilder, 10 years competing now. I won the Mr. Universe in 2017, so that's kind of my biggest achievement to date. I came second last year in the Pro Universe, and then see what happens this year, see if we can go one better. Currently in prep, obviously Finn approached me to do this video. I've seen him, he trains well, he trains smart, he trains kind of similar ethos to me. So I think we'll have a really good session. Like you said, follow my push variation and see how it compares, and hopefully...
So this is your push, you said, with less pressing, less compounds, more...
Yeah, so today we're just going to press on our chest. So we've got an inclined barbell heavy and a flat dumbbell heavy, and the rest is there's an isolation to start, bit of volume to pump the chest up kind of midway, and then we go on to delts, which is just high volume, rear delt, superset, tricep on the laterals.
Perfect, cool. Right, we'll get into the session now.
Get cracking.
Cool, man. So first movement is a incline cable fly. So Josh said the reason we've got this in first is just to make sure we can get the pec short, get warm before we go into our heavy press next, which is the incline press. So we've got 4 sets of this, almost like two warm-up sets to get blood in, 1 heavy set and then 1 back off, and then we'll go straight into the incline bench. Get that. Come on, finish. Here we That's you. Nice. And again, that's over. Come on. Come on. That's it. Come on. Good. Come on. You got me. Let's go. Yeah. Yours. Easy. Line up. Come on. Let's go, mate. Big breath. Drop. That's not stick, that's not stick. Finish. Everything. If needed, let's go. Big breath, let's go. Progress, mate, progress. Come on. Press. Three, two, one. Yeah, here we go. Wrong start. Good. Get it hard. That's it. Up. Nice, mate. Really good. Big try. Good. Up. Hit it. Awesome. Yep. Come on. That's 10. Up. That's it. Come on. So we've just been on the second exercise, which is the incline barbell. New one for me. Josh has that in his rotation. Very, very good exercise. Actually felt better than usual. Josh told me to sort of set a little bit higher than I'm used to. Took out any rotation, so that was very good. 2 sets on that, 1 heavy, then 1 back off, both much failure. Then we're going on to a flat dumbbell press now. Last couple of movements now for chest, so we're doing a superset of the pec fly, and then we're using the shrug machine here to do a flat press. Completely execution is everything. Once you've got the execution down, then you can focus on progressing the load. Look at progressing the load until you know you're hitting the target muscle, not using passive tissues, actually performing through an active range of motion. So, he's a massive guy. He's not chucking around silly weights for the sake of it. He's pressing, with perfect form, and every single rep is controlled and he's thinking about it. So that just shows you that execution is everything. Not just load. Tricep for the delts now, so just getting a lot of volume in. We obviously don't have much pressing for the delts on this session. Josh has another rotation, he's got a vertical press. In this session, no vertical pressing, so what we're doing to kill the delts off is just a lot of volume towards the end. So we've got a tough standing lateral raise, high reps again, 15, 20 plus, straight into a dumbbell lateral raise, again higher reps, in that 15 plus range, straight into a front delt range. So a lot of volume. I'm feeling good 2 sets in, not massively taxing in terms of central nervous system, but a hell of a lot of stimulus on the delts. So guys, moving on to a little bit of tricep focused work now. So I've got 2 sets of dips to absolute failure. Usually I have these in a lot early on a push session, so not moving any weight, just one going for absolute failure. There should be around 15-ish reps, and then we're going to move into a tricep superset as well to finish off. drive, finish it. Yeah. Jesus Christ. Good, mate. Yes. Pass, mate.
Really take a deep breath into your chest. Don't worry about having your abs on this one, that's it. Push your sternum up to the ceiling, that's it. Legs on, good. With the legs, imagine you're driving your feet kind of away so you get into the hip. Yeah, arm looks wicked there. And keep up tall a bit more. Yeah.
Yeah.
Tighten your lower ab. Nice. Relax. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, keep chest up tall there.
Yeah.
Nice work.
Yeah, the biceps too.
Put one foot further back.
This?
Yeah, that one further back up there so you can sit on and then really. That's decent, yep. Elbows up a bit on that. Yeah. Okay. Straighten it out there.
Yeah.
And then on your abs. There you go. Nice muscular, you got one. Legs on and dried in. I think I look good with your chest and delts. Yeah, drive your hands into like proper cloak. Yeah, fist together, nice.
Amazing.
Nice, mate. Yeah, really good.
Cool, so just finished up the push session. Again, thank you to Josh for putting me through that. Very, very good session. A little bit different to what I'm used to, so it was nice to go over some different bits. Done some posing, again, very helpful. Josh giving me a few pointers on that. And now we're just going to go over some questions that I got on Instagram, as well as a few of my own questions. With the gym being quite loud, I would have asked them throughout the session. Some of them we did go over, but obviously potentially didn't hear on the cameras. Okay, so first question, current training, nutrition and cardio routine at the minute. So what's that going like?
So I'm on prep, so it's more cardio now at the moment. My first show's in 7 weeks. I've got guest spots in 2 weeks, 4 weeks, and like 9 weeks. It was quite a busy
Right.
thing there. First show 7 weeks, then 10, then 12 weeks from now. So at the moment, training wise, 5 days a week is perfect for me. Allows me 2 rest days that I can just make sure that I'm fully recovered. So Monday is a pull day, Tuesday's a push, Wednesday I'll rest, Thursday's legs, and then kind of upper body, chest and shoulders priority for me. So I do chest and triceps on a Friday, and then shoulders and biceps on a Saturday. Cardio at the moment is 35 minutes 5 times a week, and then 45 minutes on one of my rest days. The other rest days.
Quite a lot cardio wise.
Yeah, well, I suppose so. Like for prep, it's
Not
so
drastic.
so. Yeah, I normally try and get a walk in as well. But like you say, I've got a bike at home.
Have you got a step goal to hit every day, or just
No. So as long as my cardio is consistent, then and I track everything, and the aim is to do like a little bit more each week, ideally, unless I'm seeing kind of nice progress. In which case, I just hold steady. And then nutrition-wise, my training day calories at the moment are about 3-4. Off the top of my head, I can't remember my macros.
That's not too high for you though.
No. I mean, given that I'm 305 pounds right now, that's not a lot. And then rest days 2-6, but my performance doesn't suffer, and I'd rather push low now and see kind of quicker change.
How's hunger on that? Is it okay?
It's fine. Yeah, like I kind of have foods that I enjoy. There's not a good amount of fruit in there, kind of cereal post-workout. And I'm never someone with a huge appetite, but when I'm on prep, it's very much, I've done it that long now that you just don't think
Used
about
to
it.
Yeah, that's it. You have to, I get frustrated when I get the questions like, how do you deal with cravings, or how do you do this, that, and it's just a case of I just deal with it now. Like, the goal is bigger than enjoying a fucking bit of food.
Yeah.
Like, that's what frustrates me.
The thing is, like, keep busy as well. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm fortunate that work is very, very busy, and I kind of like have to set alarms for meal times, because otherwise I'll just work through.
You eat when you eat.
Yeah,
you do this when you do
exactly.
this. It's routine. Like, I say that to all my clients, just plan ahead. If you plan ahead when your next meal is, the likelihood you're going to binge in 3 hours is very, very small.
Exactly.
Because you know when the next meal's coming. Next question then. Do you currently, or have you ever had a coach?
So I first competed in 2010, and I did 2 shows that year. I took 2 years off and competed in 2012, and did 2 shows there. Those 4 shows I had the same coach, who was just another bodybuilder, local bodybuilder. He doesn't do it anymore, I don't think. But it was just to have someone who'd been there before, and to kind of guide. It was quite an old school approach, but like, it got me in great shape. It certainly instilled a great deal of kind of work ethic and discipline, because I don't think, like, you talk about kind of doing a reason about the cardio now. Like, then I was doing, I think for my 2012 prep with him, from the start I was doing 2 hours a day.
Really?
Like hour in the morning, hour in the evening, like that.
It's quite old school.
Do you know what I mean? Like, it's just like fucking put the work in. But like I said, like, it works, obviously, because you're in a huge fucking expenditure. But also it just shows that you can push yourself. So, although I always want to make a prep as easy as possible and as stress-free, ultimately, to get on stage, you need to be in the best shape you can be, and you need to put the effort in that's required. If 1 year everything goes really well and it just falls off, you're brilliant, ride that wave. But every prep for me has been different. Every prep, so I've had to either take food lower, or it might have been higher expenditure. You can't predict. I know a trend, I know a body, but it still changes year on year.
No, that's good though. Sometimes, like, I think often people want to suffer as well, which sometimes can be bad.
Yeah.
Like, you think you're doing too much to an extent.
Definitely. Like now, like kind of prepping myself, like sometimes, especially towards the back end, like that's the hardest challenge, is to go, I'm pretty much there. Do I really need to increase anything, or can I in fact take a little bit of stress off? And
so you've been doing it yourself since after those shows,
since 2014, which I then took another 2 years, 2012, 2014. Since then I've prepped myself. And initially it was just because I wasn't sure if I wanted to compete again, but the challenge of prepping myself was like exciting, and that then kind of almost found a second love for everything. So.
Yeah, cool. So obviously we've spoken about your ultimate goal in the past. So you can just go through what your ultimate goal is at the minute. Why you spoke to what you said to me about not sort of worrying about IFBB Pro just yet. So what's the ultimate goal for you? Obviously with these shows coming up, and then.
Yeah, I mean, I think I would love to win the Pro Universe, because then I'll have won pretty much everything in Nabba, from the Midlands to the England to the Britain to the Universe and then the Pro. So the only thing I've not won is the Worlds, which I can live with that.
Oh, you came second in, did you say?
So no, I came second in the Pro Universe last year.
Right. So yeah, this time.
But ultimately, it's you can't predict competition. Who's going to turn up? Like one year could be weak. But ultimately, as long as I am turning up in the best shape possible, preferably better than last year, I'm happy. I think I came third at the Universe in 2015, and I came second in 2016, and I was happy when I came third and when I came second.
Yeah, with your package. That you
with the package and just like the emotions involved in it, I think placings are great, but there's more to it than that. And I think if you can see that, you'll enjoy bodybuilding a lot more. As soon as people
it's all about being first.
As soon as people start kind of saying, "Oh, like if I've not won or if I don't place, I won't have succeeded," then like you can't predict. Do you know what I mean? Like,
so you can't. That's true.
The next Ronnie Coleman could turn up.
Yeah, you never know, do you? As long as you're the best you are, you can be. You've got to be happy, I guess, haven't you? So, have you had since 2016 off then?
No, I've competed every year. So since 2014 till now, I've competed every year. So like I said, last year I did the PCA Worlds in the Pro class, and came third, and then the Universe and came second in the Pro class, and that was my first kind of year as a pro in those federations. And this year, the PCA Brits have a Pro class, I'm doing that. Nabba Universe again, and then there's a Pro show in Italy in November that I'm going to go for and just finish the season off there with a little bit of holiday as well. So
that'll be nice. So if you do win Nabba Universe, what's the plan after that?
I'd like to get the IFBB Pro card at some point. The only issue I have is that a lot of bodybuilders, that's the end of their career.
Yeah, that's what you're saying.
So it's like although it's not about money, bodybuilding gives you nothing. It gives you a lot of satisfaction, of course, but returns wise, there's not a lot there.
No.
Whereas as a pro in PCA and Nabba, I can at least get prize money.
Yeah.
So there's an argument to be made to stay there until maybe I'm in a position where I feel I can step up more easily to the pro league.
More of a chance when you get there.
Yeah.
Just jumping into it at the bottom kind of thing.
Yeah. So we'll see. Like I said, right now my focus is just to get better each year. I think my thing is I really want to be 300 pounds on stage in really good nick, because that put me in a very
good, goal.
A very select group of people who've ever done that.
Yeah.
And then just see where we go with
that. Goes nicely, obviously, into the next question. To be fair, with height, obviously your height, because what are you 6'6"? 6'6". That obviously helps in terms of weight. Obviously, you're heavier for that. Someone asked, did you ever struggle filling out your frame? Obviously, with you being taller, muscle belly, they're going to be longer kind of thing. Potentially harder for you to put on size than someone say my height.
It's just a time thing. Do you know what I mean? Like I did my first show in 2010, weighed in 108 kilos. I don't know what that is in pounds. I converted to pounds since then. But I think I was
still heavy. Like.
Yeah, but then at 6'6",
it
looks pretty stringy. And I think last year I was 132. I think that's what 295 works out at. So it's like 24 kilos of tissue in 9 years. It takes
It's time consuming. That's it. It's the thing. Like I look back at a photo from a year ago of me, and it's like minimal changes. And I'm still in my early years of training. And, people think it just happens like that. Like, I've been training well, I guess, since like 19. Obviously, I'm 22 now. The changes year to year are not drastic at all. Like you look back and you're like, there's something there, of course, but not a lot. Like especially naturally, it's putting on tissue naturally is obviously a lot harder than it is enhanced, but still like minimal differences they do add up over time. You get to the point 10 years and there's a lot added on.
If you put on 2 pounds a year, it's going to show.
Doable,
it's going to show. Not easy, but like with basic consistency, that should be
good structure, nutrition and training.
It should be more than achievable. So
cool. That leads to the next question then. So anabolics.
Yes.
So obviously I'm natural. Yourself not competing in untested federations. So for people that don't know, that natural bodybuilding isn't the norm. You sort of when you get into bodybuilding, the big federations, IFBB Pro, PCA, those kind of federations, Nabba, they're not tested like BNBF or UK DFBA. So it is sort of a different category to be natural bodybuilding versus an enhanced athlete. So what was sort of the decision for you to go into that? What was your age? What sort of pushed you towards that goal?
Realistically, when I started, it was I'd been training properly for 2 years, and I wanted to compete, and that was pretty much. I was going through a prep and I wanted to kind of hold on to tissues, so I thought that was an appropriate time. Realistically, potentially a little impatient. I think the first time.
Common though.
Yeah, I think
happens a lot.
at 22, but like, you know, at least I had given it a couple of years, and you know, I think one thing that that I've done kind of sensibly, partly by being conservative and partly as I've kind of learned more just by being educated, is, you know, I've kept control of everything, you know, like health wise. You know, people always bang on about consistency, and that's all well and good in terms of nutrition and training. People overlook the fact that, you know, if you're getting ill, if you're abusing your body with drugs, you know, that has a much kind of deeper knock-on effect on consistency.
Yeah. If you're not keeping your health markers and getting your blood done that consistently as an enhanced athlete,
I mean, it helps everyone, but certainly, like, if you,
of course,
you know, don't if you haven't got, like, I've just taken on a competitor fairly recently. We ran through a prep, and then we started his first cycle, and it was great because, you know, he's in a lean place to begin with. We got blood work done. We know exactly where he is. We know exactly everything's in order, and it's the question now. Like, obviously, I can help, I suppose, by learning from maybe what I would have done differently in terms of keeping doses as low as we can and get as much out of that as possible.
That's it. It's all education at the end of the day, isn't it? Like, I think nowadays, like, people just jump on it for the sake of jumping on it, and in your case, you should have to an extent, because look how far it's got you, and you've obviously got the potential to do very well in the sport. But people who don't know how to train yet, don't know how to follow a good sort of schedule in terms of nutrition and training, just jumping on it is not. It's not what you want to do. That if I was to jump on it, it would make a difference, because everything I do is for my physique to grow, and it would help. But if I feel like if you're not doing that, is there much point?
A lot of people don't look at it as like, you know, I've got everything else locked in, and I'm kind of peaking progress there, and now this can help. They look at it as, I fucking can't be arsed with that, but this will help. And, you know, realistically, yes, you're probably going to get something out of it. But by living a suboptimal lifestyle elsewhere, it's probably going to make health markers worse. You're just not going to maximise the use of it. And I suppose I was lucky when I started that the kind of people I had around me to ask for advice weren't meatheads.
Yeah, they were well educated.
They knew what they were kind of conservative themselves. So although maybe I could have waited longer, at least when I started at probably a very close to appropriate place.
Well, that's it. I think it's a common misconception that people could look at you and go, "Oh my God, he's just a massive guy who he must be a dickhead." Just, you know what I mean? It's true, isn't it? Like, I get it, because I put photos on Instagram with my top off, and people think you're a twat, and it's like, that's not the case. Like, you're a very intelligent guy, you're a very nice guy that comes across very, very well. Just because you're a huge guy doesn't make you any different to anyone else.
I think, and ironically, like, the bigger and better bodybuilders are often the nicer ones.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? Because
it's such a nice community. Like,
I think, you know, you go into like just a sort of general gym, and, like, you know, the big lad or so whatever, you know, the guy who thinks like the kind of big fish in a small pond, he's probably going to be the dick who just hasn't really got a clue. Yeah. You know, is a little bit amped up, a little bit hyped up, but realistically, I think, you know, the further you go in bodybuilding, the more you realise, you know, the kind of the genetic elite and
And that's when the camera cut off, ran out of storage, or the camera ran out of battery. Then I used my phone went out of storage. So yeah, apologies for that. The Q&A did last a little bit longer, but obviously didn't manage to catch the rest of it. So anyway, thank you very much to Josh for the opportunity to train with him for the session. Really enjoyed the session. It was good to learn from him. It was good to just have a chat with him. Really nice guy. Nice for him to go through my posing, a couple of pointers on that as well, which was really helpful actually. So massive thank you to Josh. Also thank you to Dynamite for letting us film. If you like this type of video, obviously a longer format, a little bit more of just a solely training video, potentially something to watch pre-workout rather than like a vlog style video. If you liked it, let me know. Potentially look at doing it more often with different people, and some solo sessions as well. With the solo ones, I could do a voiceover and really go into detail in terms of the movements, why we're hitting those movements, you know, what I'm thinking about, the internal cues, those kind of things. So if it's something that you enjoyed, then let me know, and I can look at doing more of that. But yeah, we'll leave it there. Thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed it, and I will catch you all in the next video.